Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to round 4 of Division 1 of the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance. I'm Champ Megahorse, and today I'm with the man on the screen here, Dimble CM. Mr. Dimble, how are you today?
I am very well. How are you, Dan?
Not too bad at all. Yeah, it's promising to be a decent round, judging by the fixtures we had last time. Plenty of goals towards the end of the day. Obviously the Iron Curtain Wacky Racers game was a real highlight of the day. But the table in its early form sees Hull's top with a 100% record, but some teams really chasing down. And of course, we can't discount Badgers and Trafford just behind them as well. Your team, East Coast, how do you see your start to the season being?
It's been very solid. I'm happy with the team so far. I've got a bit of well, as you've seen, it's a brave squad. We do lack a bit of flair and creativity, but I think we're going to be grinding out results most of the season. So I'm hopeful for being up there and challenging.
You can imagine so. Just one goal conceded so far. Unlike Flamingos at the bottom of the table, who, I think they like giving out some presents here, don't they? 13 conceded already. Looking at today's fixtures, they've got a massive challenge up against Phoenix, who have not conceded a goal. I think you have been tasked with picking the team there, and we'll look at that later on. What Obviously the big game involves yourself, doesn't it, against Hulls?
It does, yeah. Massive match and up against a very good manager as well. Really, really big fan of his team. So I think it's going to be a really tough one, but I'm actually quite confident. I think we can. I think we're doing at the Birramapelli Arena. Harder to say when you had a couple of cans of it yourself. But yeah, I'm confident. And as for Flamingos, we're trying our best between us to prevent a Flamingo massacre.
Yeah, and we're actually looking for a goal today, I suppose, aren't we? Which would be great. Let's head into the opening game, which I have made sure that Atletico Lunwell will play first, and we will speak about them after last week's farce. So we can put it onto them now, and it's minimal changes. Hersey and Masudi Ekakanga in. How do you see the team doing today up against the Wacky Racers?
I think they've got a good chance today. Hopefully, Robbie can get his season off and running. I think he's got a pretty underwhelming squad, but he's got a decent first 11. So I'm hopefully we'll be off the mark today. Cassano in that MC role with no arrow on's a bit of an interesting one. So it'd be good to see how that develops. But apart from that, I'm a fan of most of those players.
Yeah, especially Chris Marsh, who we don't give enough love to apparently sometimes on here. So Chris Marsh, the master of the Cruyff turn at the Bescott Stadium, I believe. He'd fit in your team there with the 20 for bravery as well. So will he come off the bench? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's a consistent side that they're putting out now, and just some changes have probably tightened up the midfield a little bit. Petter and Youngberg dropping out, and Hersey offers that attacking threat. Ekakanga, I don't know much about him myself. Have you come across him much?
He's one I've signed many times yet, and he's I'm not sure about him in the MC role, but as an MR going forward, he can cause all sorts of problems with his amazing off the ball skills. Yeah, but he's a favourite of mine. Free transfer at the start of the game. If you have the maximum database on, highly recommend him. If you've not signed him before, get him in.
Fantastic. Should have looked to him with Wrexham in the knockout race, I reckon. Yeah, we'll get on to the opposition today, Wacky Racers, who have one enforced change. Ryan Giggs is out, and it brings Jason Kumas back into that first team today.
Yeah, Kumas is a good replacement, but it's big shoes to fill with Giggs missing. But Kumas, I'm surprised he hasn't started games so far anyway, because I think he's a good player. As for the rest of the team, I mean, I can't really get behind any team with Robbie Savage in it, so not not a massive fan of Savage in general. But yeah, I think they're up for a bit of a fight today, and I think they'll struggle. One player in there that I do notice, or two actually. I see Danny Coyne's dropped down to the reserves, is he?
Yeah, he's the one reserve goalkeeper.
Grimsby Town legend, and John Oster as well, our boy wonder, who we sold on for millions of pounds at the age of 18. Also ex-Mariner Darren Barnard as well. So yeah, I've got a bit of a soft spot for those players.
The complete antithesis of what you'd want in your own team there, with the 1 for bravery. But John Oster.
Yeah, and it's probably not inaccurate either. That he probably was about a 1 for bravery, but 20 for flair.
Oh, absolutely. Let's get into this game. Lee Fowler takes a shirt number in his first call up to the side, and we'll kick off. And it's already a lot of the Racers in possession, but Atletico, they don't give up straight away. They get straight into the games. 0-0 last time for them. Really good 0-0 draw. Hopefully there's some goals today. And there we go with the first goal. Arkadiusz Bonk straight in there with one. Just before halfway in the first half. It's pretty even other than that goal. Not much going on. Gives us very little to talk about at this point. Ashley Cole's playing well. Bonk's playing well, but everyone else is all 6s and 7s at the moment. And into the last 5 minutes of the half, we have not a lot to talk about, apart from now the injury to captain Ibrahim Saeed. Dean Keats' ready-made replacement, would you say?
I think it's got to be, yeah. It's a big loss, though. Saeed is a fantastic player, and Keats is not. So, good luck. Good luck, Robbie.
Keats for me in the past was a huge player for me, CM3 kind of days. But Ibrahim Saeed, an all-time legend of mine. So
yeah, it's more a dig at Wooder, to be honest. I think he's on the comms tomorrow night. It's more a dig at him because it's his favourite all-time player. So there's a bit of a beef going on there with that.
So when it comes to some of the games tomorrow night, then it will be the Ibrahim Saeed love show. First half, not a lot to talk about, as we imagine.
No, very much a lack of activity in the attacking halves for both teams. Atletico have got headers in, but apart from that, yeah, there's not much happening, is there?
But just edging it
when you got back on the pitch, you always got a chance of scoring a goal. So that's it's a good first start from Robbie. It's solid,
very solid, yeah. And the goal, it was a header from Bonk with it was a corner from Masudi Ekakanga. So it's proving a good addition for him to be in that team today. Your favourite player there, Robbie Savage, on a 5 for Racers. Somebody quick look at substitutes. There is nothing to specifically do at this point, other than I imagine the replacement here is Simon Davies. He looks like he's carrying an injury, and he will come off. Who do you think is probably the best one to put into that position?
Lee Fowler's a favourite of mine. I would put him in there all day. I know he's not got the best stats.
Savage can come that bit further forward, couldn't he? And Fowler sit in front of the defence, would you say?
Yeah. I'd have Lee Fowler on the pitch every time.
Yes, there's something about him, the Coventry guy, isn't he, Lee Fowler?
Yeah, he's just got those kind of those mental stats and physical stats that you need to be good. So right on column, and aggression and bravery and decision making and stuff like that. So I think he's definitely one I'd put in.
Just what we need. And I believe everybody else pretty much ready to go on to 60 minutes. So here we go with the second half. And kick is going pretty much the way of the first. A chance there for a Lumwell, but so substitution wise, we look into it now. Ooh, chances. And a yellow card and a free kick. Was that the Ekiog booking? We have a look at substitutes. We have basically like for like chances, substitutions. So look, just Zauri and Rustico. I don't think we're looking at wanting to make all 3 subs here, but Zauri and Rustico, anybody carrying a bit of an injury? No. Defence-wise, to bring on Gary Neville looks like the guy to bring on, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, I mean, Hackney Marsh is at the bottom, shouldn't be anywhere near a pitch of this standard. So, definitely Gary Neville.
Zauri or Rustico?
I'd go Zauri. I think Rustico, I won't change my centre backs when I'm
put
winning
him in
1-0.
a natural position there as well for Gary Neville. I know he can play a good job at centre back, but if you got him as a right back, you got a good chance there. It looks like Darren Barnard's okay, but they need to do something.
He's just unfit in general, Darren Barnard. He wasn't the best athlete at going.
It looks like we're going to have to make a change here at the right side, just to try and liven things up for them. Either Gabardon coming on or moving Robbie Savage to right back and bringing on a midfielder.
It's a difficult call. Oster could be a shout in the Savage role. Jones could be a shout. So yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Gabardon's obviously the straight swap, and I think he's not a bad player, is he? I think he'll do your job. But with him chasing the game, I would probably go more attacking. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, so Oster would be the one, wouldn't he? Really, especially with that run forward.
Yeah, he doesn't look great, does he? But
he's got something about him, to be there as a Premier League player of some kind. It must be okay. He'll get involved.
It's one of the worst versions I've seen of him. He's usually got good passing or something along those lines. So it is a bad version of him, I would say.
Let's see how he gets on. This is where he'll get his equaliser coming on. Robbie Savage has been more involved in the attack since he's gone back into defence. With about 20 minutes or so to go, Jason Kumas has equalised and John Oster's playing pretty well.
Good lad.
And another goal. It's Eka Kanga. What a game he's having. It's
what a debut
to bring him into the team. 10 minutes to go. Hersey's taken a yellow card. And another chance for Alumwell. They've probably just edged it, to be honest. And going into this last bit now, it's a goal. It is Lee Fowler with an equaliser. And what an end to the game it is there. He takes the yellow card. A winning goal from Ashley Cole.
Oh. Ashley Cole's always the default penalty taker, isn't he? If you don't specify, it's always Ashley Cole that steps up, which is a weird one.
And the penalty, he is indeed, is that penalty taker. Lee Fowler taking out Arkadiusz Bonk, getting a yellow card, and Ashley Cole scoring the winner. Well, that livened up in the last 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, where did that come from? I wasn't expecting an ending like that. I'm pleased Fowler contributed after I bigged him up, but then quickly went back on that by giving away a late penalty. But yeah, I think Akakanga's probably the difference there from what I could see.
Man of the match performance, goal and assist. His only shot on target went in. Fantastic. Bonks played well. Rustico really turned himself around there towards the end of the game with a solid defensive performance, despite the fact they conceded 2 goals in that time. Neville, don't really think Neville made too much of a difference. John Oster's come on, he's done okay. Robbie Savage with an assist.
That must have been from right back, yeah. So yeah, he's obviously, I think he's better out there, out the way, get him out the way.
Keep him out there, and yeah, it looks like he has set up the one for Lee Fowler. Well, it's a good way to start the day, isn't it? With a great 3-2 win for Atletico Alumwell. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic second half there, and after the first half was a bit disappointing, but yeah, great win for Robbie. Well done, mate.
We go into the second match, which is an early top half clash between the Wanderers of Wolverhampton, who are at Trafford. Roy Keane's back in after his suspension today.
Yeah, he was a big miss for them, but although they've got to be one of the surprise teams of both leagues so far. A team that's got a weird balance of good players and some fairly average players that are good on the game, I suppose. But yeah, it's a strange mix, and the lack of DMC is kind of unheard of. So it's interesting to see how it's working. And like I say, it's probably one of the surprise teams so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the fact that they are playing 2 defensive midfielders in the team is probably giving them a bit of balance in there. But further forward, Roy Keane on his first game was outstanding, and his second game with the red card. But yeah, he looks like a bit of a threat going further forward. And this front three, I mean, you can't really discount the opportunities that this team will create with Fortes on the bench
100%.
as
That's
well.
a great pairing behind, and then obviously the strength of Fortes off the bench with his one strength and his Zimmer frame. But I would love to see him. So hopefully they're winning easily, so we can get him on at 60 minutes. But I doubt that's going to happen against the strong Trafford side.
A very strong Trafford side, isn't it? Yeah, they've also started the season particularly well. Even with the sort of awkward looking setup, it is working for them.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I do like to see some different tactics. It's never one I would have gone with myself. I think with a more kind of out the box formation, you're probably had better results so far. But Daggy's obviously got something in mind in terms of with and without the ball and stuff like that. So I think it'd be interesting to see how it develops and whether he'll stick with it if he doesn't get the result he wants tonight.
And speaking of results, last time around a 2-0 defeat and a whole load of yellow cards, but I mean it was against Hull, so they can't look too down on that when they've come up with a couple of decent results so far. They play you in a few weeks, so by that point we'll start to see how things are looking in that table. Shevchenko has been named as captain for today, and the Wanderers are in their wonderful away kit. First time we've seen that one for this season, I think.
Very nice colours, those. Yeah,
lovely, and I do enjoy the gold of the Trafford side as well. First chance of the game, Veron's put one wide. Kivu's taken a yellow card already, and a yellow card for Shevchenko. Bit of a theme around Trafford and cards in the matches involving them. Halfway through the first half, no real chances on target. Van Nistelrooy's had a chance. Shevchenko puts in a rebound, I think, and it makes it 1-0. It's going to take some coming back for the Wanderers, but we can't discount them. I almost eating my words there. 35 minutes in, Dean Richards has taken a card. Wanderers coming back into it a little bit, and then Roy Keane with a the card we expected, I think, for Roy Keane. Half time.
Always, yeah.
Half time approaching. Oh, Javan's had a chance. Did he hit the post then? David Collins' uncharacteristic first half. Well, it looks one-sided.
It does. It's not free flowing from Trafford, but they're getting the job done so far, and I think the Wolves are doing well to hang on in there. And with kind of Javan and Collins on the pitch, you've always got a chance of sneaking a goal or two. So yeah, I think both teams would be reasonably happy after the way the first half went.
Yeah, you can imagine. I mean, there's not really many stand-up performances. Van Nistelrooy and Buffon for Trafford, and it's just the goalkeeper Pellizzoli for Wanderers. So we can see, with aside from the goalkeepers, we've only got one person outfield who's actually impressing at all. Trafford substitutions, it's just basically anyone under 85%, which is nobody, or on a 5 at this time. And
Riquelme struggling a little bit.
Riquelme is under 85, well spotted. I'm glad I have someone else on commentary with me. It's something I've missed a couple of times this season, I think, so far. Riquelme, I mean, we've got options here.
Well, that's one thing he has got off the bench, his options.
With two attacking mids here, Emerson could come in.
Emerson or Ferguson, obviously very, very good replacement. So yeah, either of those, Emerson probably edges it maybe.
Yeah, he's performed well this season, hasn't he? So him on and Aymar forward, and probably Veron into Aymar's position.
Yeah, that would work for me. I think obviously he's Aymar's favoured in an advanced position there with his arrow. So yeah, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, and just move them around a little carousel of players there. So yeah, a good spot for you there. Thank you very much. Into the second half, the Andrew Richards plan is, of course, just if the players are still walking, they can still play football.
Fair enough.
It's 2-0, and it's Veron moving that slight bit into a more advanced role of the centre mids, who scored the early goal in the second half. And we're coming up to these substitution times. And there we are. Oh, it's still continuing, but Robin has pulled one back. nothing you can do about that, I'm afraid. Trafford, they've pulled one back just before the substitution time. They have plans for substitutes at this point, so always make sure I consult the records here. So anyone under 85% again is still an option to look at. I'm just checking match ratings here as well. Cannavaro might be a change. Under 85, it's just Aymar. So Aymar will come off. This is a Barry Ferguson change, then, isn't it? Really? Do you think?
Yeah, the only option is to put Shevchenko back in there, but I would suggest Ferguson if it was me. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and then probably would you keep Ferguson in that one?
I would, yeah. I think he's a bigger goal threat.
And anything else? Yeah, Vieira, if on a yellow card, Tomadera on if possible. So I mean, we could actually undo the substitute and bring Tomadera on and move Shevchenko back because the forwards are both playing pretty well.
I mean, it is possible to bring him on. So
yeah,
do we go for it?
Let's do that then. Let's take off that one. Just having seen that he's requested the Tomadera change, so let's go back and do this. So it's Aymar off, Tomadera, and Shevchenko. And the other things at this point, no, I think we're okay for substitutes at this point. Everything else can continue. And we'll crack straight on. David Collins on a 5, Roy Keane on a 5, but there are no requests for substitutes other than injuries, so we just continue. David Collins now taking a yellow card. It couldn't have gone much worse for him this game. Javin's nearly pulled one back. Well, equalised.
They're in the game.
They certainly are. They're a team that just don't give up. Shevchenko with another chance. Tomadera, Shevchenko, and it's fantastic. Was that Van Nistelrooy with the goal, and then one for Tomadera? What a great set of substitutes it's been. I think we've done well here for them. And
happy with that so far from us. Good performance from us.
The admin working well, and a 4-1 victory. I don't think I quite saw it extending the lead quite that much. Wanderers were hanging in, but yeah, deserved Trafford win.
Yeah, I think with some fresh legs, Wanderers would have been better off there. But obviously that's against the instructions we've received, so that's what we've done. Yeah, Trafford's got to be happy with that. Daggy's got to be happy with it. So I think with the Wanderers squad against that Trafford squad, you would back Trafford all day long. So yeah, it's probably the result you'd expect on paper. So no surprises really. And the only surprise is that Roy Keane has been playing so well for most players that he plays for, and David Collins on a 5. So yeah, that's probably the biggest surprise going.
Yeah, they just didn't really click into gear too much. I mean, Duff and Robin are reliable, as you expect, but performance-wise, ratings for the Trafford side, they weren't going to be beaten when they're playing that well. It's great. The fullbacks have performed, forwards have performed. Vieira hasn't got booked. So what else can you go for really? Good win for Trafford.
Yeah, they've taken the first half performance, which was pretty average, and turned it into a very good win. Mike Duff with his obligatory 8 rating as well. So nice to see that always.
Indeed. We'll leave that game for later on, and we'll head into the Flamingos match, which you've gone and selected the side here. Alan's requested that you give it a go, and setup wise, it's something a bit different to the last games, all targeting the same position on the pitch.
Yeah, that was an odd one. It was never going to work. I don't know what Alan was up to. I know Alan likes to experiment with his tactics, but against a strong team, it was never going to work. Well, actually, it wasn't a strong team, was it? So it's a match where he had a chance tonight. He's got no chance, but we've given him a proper tactic. But yeah, the idea we've gone with Alan is to go a bit more direct with some stronger boys up top and some flying wing backs. So hope we don't let you down too much. It's nice to see he's pressed the go on holiday button and left us in charge, really. It's nice.
And 2 debutants there, Leon Campos in defence and Stanislav Telecki, who offers some strength further forward. It might make a bit of a difference to them not to be bullied off the ball quite so easily.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how he plays because he's got the the ratings of a strong potato. So we'll see what he produces.
And of course, the goalkeeper this time round, Jarstein's given a call up for the first time for the team, replacing Brungleson, who's conceded 13, which, some teams might not even concede that this season. So in 3 matches, he's done a fair amount of picking the ball out of his net. And they're up against Phoenix, who have not conceded a goal. And you can kind of see why.
100%, yeah. Very, very canny manager. I mean, you've got to say the squad itself is littered with talent and experience. So yeah, that was his. I think that was his idea, wasn't it? 29 and over. But he's basically got some of the better players in the game. First season, you don't find that many better than this. So yeah, I really think they're going to be the ones to catch, as it's kind of proven already. Simeone coming in is an interesting one. I noticed he's gone for a bit more balance in that midfield, those midfield too. So he's had a defensive-minded one on the left and a more attacking option on the right. So it's interesting to see him continue with that because it's obviously been working.
It has indeed, yeah. Rui Costa's really performed, hasn't he, this season?
He's been fantastic, yeah. And then I see Bobby Baggio's coming as well, and he won't last the full 90, I imagine. But what a player for the 10 minutes he's fit.
If they get a free kick, we know where it's going, don't we? Yeah, it's looking like a very, very solid side there. Paulo Montero and Carlos Gamera, 2 of my favourite defenders within the game as well. So let's see how they get on. A team that haven't scored versus a team that haven't conceded. It is going to be fun to see what happens here. Will there be a goal for Flamingos?
That's what we're praying for, and I'm hoping for kind of a 5-1 loss for the Flamingos. That would make my day, to be honest.
As well as a referee, Torbjorn Ars. So it looks like a good one here. Will the Flamingos be Torbjorn and you Ars? We'll have to find out.
That's the joke I was trying to get to in my head before you took it. You're very quick with those.
Oh, I was working on it as soon as I saw his name. 15 minutes in, we have had a goal, and it's Bishonta Lizarazu on his debut.
Obviously.
Probably the least likely player in the team to have got it, other than Oliver Kahn. 2-0, Paulo Montero. Are they just going to work their way down the list to see how they get on?
Chris Kamara next.
That'd be unbelievable. It is such a struggle to see the Phoenix text. I know that I have seen Talon Martin touch the ball a few times.
I've got no idea what's going on. Part of my real life job is to make sure that colours like that are accessible for web content. So it really offends me, to be honest.
But not the most offensive performance. The fact that they've only conceded 2. The goalkeeper is performing. I know Brungleson did make it to the Team of the Week subs bench last time around, and Leon Campos' debut is going okay, but they're still yet to register a shot in the game.
I'm just amazed that there's no 4s or 5s, so I'm happy with that. Hopefully Alan's happy as well, and it would be nice to get a shot on a goal second half, but I think 2-0 or even 4-0 if it carried on as it's going wouldn't be the worst result.
It wouldn't, I don't think. They basically, in terms of substitutes, unless there's any injuries, I think we're just looking at Des Fioaso coming off for them. Action areas, it's not been all too bad. They've had a quarter of the game in the opposition's third, but then again, most of it's probably be Phoenix toying around at the back, getting Lizarazu going. They're looking okay at this point. Cranchar's probably got a bit of a stamina issue going on, but they're not requesting subs other than Des. Really, we'll manage it at 60. See how they get on. Rui Costa, I think Costa's probably got something wrong there, a groin injury. The request to manage the side would be that Rui Costa comes off, especially at 2-0 up against this team. I don't know about you. I think this is a Mehmet Scholl kind of game.
Why not? I mean, if it was a competitive game, I would probably shift things around a bit and move Zidane back and stuff. But I think give Scholl his debut for Bolton Phoenix.
Yeah, I do rate Scholl in the first couple of seasons. Scholl can perform. Let's see how he gets on. Into the second half, 15 minutes. Will they get a shot? Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
If they do, we won't see it.
Zidane, there he is. Probably good that he didn't move back too much, although the defenders have been scoring. Aquilani on a 5. Yeah, he's the one that's causing the issue. Cruncher, I think Cruncher needs to come off.
Yeah, I agree. You've got the option of Croft or maybe Elder Hads.
Yeah, I think, these two could push further forward and go more naturally attacking.
Yeah, why not? Got nothing to lose, have we?
No.
Apart from Alan's dignity.
He handed it over to us. And I think, just looking at performances of forwards, that I think this is a game that's made for Des to come on and do something.
I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I'm happy to sanction that substitution if I'm the one that's got the final say.
Let's. Would you take out of the front three? I mean, Telechi's got some strength. Would you leave him on, or would you be worried about the yellow card?
I would take him off, and I'd quite like to see Jocelyn have a run out as well if we can.
Yeah, they can all come on. Which would you go for, Samba or Martin off
them? I'd go for
Aquilani and rearrange.
I think we'll just take off Martin. We'll let the legend Samba have another go.
Yeah, there really isn't a replacement for Aquilani in the team, is there?
There isn't, no. As we discussed off air when we were trying to select a team that would be solid.
Hence the huge delay in broadcast today. Baggio, 83%, doing okay. Zidane, 84%, no injuries to speak of. Would you make a second change?
I think everyone on the bench has played, haven't they? I mean, if I was doing it myself, I might give someone a debut, but I think Ryan will be happy to kind of continue on as long as the conditions are fine, which I think they are.
Yeah, condition-wise, 83, the weakest there for Baggio, which we did mention before that he might not get through, but nobody's injured.
Yeah, I don't think Baggio will be in his thoughts for starting next week anyway, so I don't think it'd be a problem if he gets a little bit tired.
Next game is only 3 days away, Badgers, so maybe Zidane to come off actually.
Yeah, if he's struggling a little bit, why not?
He's 84.
Manager squad. I think that would come under the remit of managing the squad.
And is that a Rivaldo job?
You've got a ready-made replacement in Rivaldo.
There we are. Right, onwards. Still don't obviously know if it's a goal, and they have got the list here. Rivaldo makes it 5-0, and I think that was a shot for the Flamingos. It's like watching half a football match at times, isn't it? But that's half the enjoyment as well with watching Flamingos.
At least we're seeing some pink and blue. It's not all black and red, which we'd have probably expected.
Flamingos have been done. Oh, they've scored!
Get it.
They have scored. I'm sorry, I'm watching the game from the wrong bit there. It's been Justin Jocelyn, but it's 6-1 now, and Roberto Baggio has scored to make it 6. But they did score a goal, and I think that's mission accomplished in terms of your selection of a team has produced a goal, but they've now conceded 19.
I'm delighted. I think that's a great result for Flamingos. For Ryan, I mean, it's nice to get his goals up, I suppose, because he was really struggling at the start of the season when he used to score. So
the 1 from 2 games, but a very very good team, wasn't it? Well, I'm very very pleased for Justin Jocelyn to come off the bench. I mean, that's him pushing for a start now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm taken aback a bit. It's a bit of an emotional moment for me.
And the assist from Malmstrom, so well done to him. Jarstein really dropped down. Phoenix, they haven't set the world alight. They've got 6 goal scorers, but no outstanding performances. Scholl came on 2 assists. He's done well. But yeah, look at the list there. 4 players in a row scoring.
You can see our direct tactics have kept Marcel Desailly's head and neck busy with his eight headers, 1-2 key. So yeah, at least we gave Marcel a bit of an uncomfortable afternoon.
I think that Simeone might well be complaining that his 9 wasn't enough for man of the match, whereas Lizarazu's 8 was. But that's just the nature of the fact that he scored and he hasn't, I guess.
Yeah, it's strange on that. It's not something I've really noticed, but Super League a few times and on this as well, I've noticed that the lower rating gets man of the match. Something I've not really noticed before when I've been playing myself.
Yeah, it's one of the little novelties, isn't it? We're still going to miss out your game. I think it's worth playing last today. It's really the big one of the day, isn't it? Falaraki 99 is away to Imaginary Madrid. I do like the setup here. They've made a couple of personnel changes. Hargreaves has come into the first team. Soroczynski's dropped out, and I think that Robin may well have come into the team today. What do you make of this side?
I think they've got to be the biggest underperformers so far. They've got one of the stronger sides, packed with players in every area, really. I think probably the only area you look at it might be a little bit weaker is the fullbacks or the right fullback area specifically. But in terms of midfielders, strikers, they've got some real talent. So I'd be expecting the Falaraki team to climb up the league over the next few weeks, probably starting tonight. And if they've got Imaginary Madrid, so it's a bit of a bottom of the table battle at the moment. If they lose tonight, I think Falaraki manager needs to be seriously considering his future.
Championio is going to be worried by your statement there.
The media pressure will be building, and the fans they won't be happy. They'll be outside the what bar is it they play at?
George's Bar.
George's Bar. I've not been to Falaraki myself, but I'm sure George's Bar is a very nice establishment.
Yeah, they want to be dancing on the streets of George's Bar again very soon. Yeah, they've had the one win against Iron Curtain, which is a great result, but to lose to Trafford, you can understand why. Wanderers started off the season well. They'll pick up, as you said.
If I'm being serious for a second, I think last week's result was a bit disappointing, but the result against Iron Curtain was a good one, and Trafford are obviously a very good team. So yeah, I think what I'm saying is he will climb the table. I think over the next few weeks with when he starts to play a few of the teams with weaker squads.
Yeah, I do feel they've got something about them. Frey's come back in for Costanzo as well as another change for them today. John Terry will be captain, and he'll be there in his full kit regardless of what happens. Imaginary Madrid, no goals this season. A few changes to the lineup today. They should be a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, I didn't realise how good the squad was. Actually, just looking at that team there and the table position at the minute. I mean, it's a very, very good starting 11 with Richard Dunn in it as well.
Yeah.
But it's a very good team, and obviously looking at the bench as well, they've got some good depth, especially in forward areas with Anelka and Cahill, Fowler. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good team. I don't know what the theme is with this one, but I'd be disappointed if I was in. Is it in 10th position or even lower at the moment? Yeah, so they're right down there at the moment. So again, I would expect them to kind of rise up the league over the next few weeks. So actually, this is a bit of an interesting battle, this one today.
Yeah, both teams could say that they deserve more points than they've got so far. Imaginary Madrid probably need more than imaginary goals. I do think this is a team where Matt's chosen players he's seen playing before. So I think that's he's actually seen them play at stadiums. So that's
fair enough. Fair enough.
With the Jordi Cruyff selection in the team there, that might explain things. Let's get into the game. It promises to be something where the points matter. I've had a chance already. Straight away, it's more than some of the games I've had in the first 10-15 minutes. And it does look more like Imaginary Madrid we're on the attack. Falaraki coming back into it, though. I keep saying the wrong thing today. I think it's like, somebody's on the attack and the other team score.
That's the way champ goes.
It certainly is, especially when you watch it at speed. 20 minutes in, no clear-cut chances. A good save, good Cudicini there from Sigalko's chance. Ronaldinho played a free kick in there as well. But half an hour in, the teams are still holding out. Cudicini's a busier goalkeeper. Joe Cole's coming into the match a bit more for Falaraki. And the fight for a goal has ended with Mendieta scoring just before half-time. And they'll be pleased to go in with a goal and with a lead at half-time, Madrid.
Yeah, certainly. They've been edged out slightly. It's been a bit cagey. More shots on there than I thought there would be. But to go in at 1-0, having less chances, I think they'll be very happy with that. I expect a bit of a fight back from Falaraki in the second half.
Yeah, they've had more of the ball, certainly in attacking areas, but just haven't done enough with it for 5 shots on target. Cudicini's in decent form, but at the same time, there's not really... I mean, everyone's still saying pretty fit for Imaginary Madrid. They've got no substitute plans either for this match. Falaraki being slightly disappointed. Joe Cole, like we said, is probably carrying most of their threat, but they're not really doing too much with it at the moment.
Yeah, Joe Cole's barely touched the ball, but he's had 2 key passes and 2 shots on target, so he must be getting in the right areas, just not getting the ball to him enough.
Yeah, they do need that ball towards those players who can make a difference. Ronaldinho is trying to get involved. Robin on the periphery quite a bit. Let's see how that second half gets going. Plans for Falaraki if they're not performing at 60 minutes. Got a chance to put another one wide. A dubious yellow card for Ashley Cole.
He might have got his air rifle out.
But Robin has pulled one back and he's 1-1. He will, I assume, come off here. Well, actually, no, the plans are front 3 to come off if 6 or below. So Robin will stay on. There's no plans for injury substitutions. So it's Sigalko.
Yep, I would. For Saviolo or Keane, I think Saviolo's got to be the marquee name. So I would imagine he'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think if it was one of these a bit further back, David Collins would probably do a decent job. But yeah, as a main striker, Saviola's probably the one, especially that they got back into the game now. Other forward players, Ronaldinho, Robin, both at 7s, they'll continue. And no plans for Madrid. So they've levelled up shots on target for both of them now. Is that they've scored but didn't actually put a shot on target? They had 5 shots on target in the first half, and now they've scored.
That's what the stats suggest. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. I've had it where I've been losing 1-0 with no shots on target.
It'll be interesting having a little look at that at the end of the game to see how Robin did score the goal. Woodgate's had a chance. Jonathan Woodgate nearly put them into the lead. Hargreaves, on his first start for the club, puts Falaraki in front. George's bar will be Falarocking. Joe Cole with a chance, Robin with a chance as well. It's certainly turned around in the second half. Great football by Falaraki. And as we come into that last bit, I mean, Madrid have been beaten to it in the second half with the performance, and you can see the shot count has really risen towards the end.
Yeah, Falaraki on the roads to mid-table, aren't they? I think that's a good second half from them. They've had 5 shots on target. It seemed like they had lots of the ball, and definitely deserved to come back into it.
They certainly did, and you know, just looking at the game, it was pretty even for a lot of it. Campo done a decent job, Kesman, but Richard Dunn, you know, you did single him out at the beginning of the game for his selection, and it's probably justified. He might.
Yeah, he'd be wishing he'd gone to a few more higher quality matches when Richard Dunn your best option at centre back.
But I mean, the thing is, he didn't score an own goal, so there's something to look forward to from that. He didn't score.
Well, maybe he did. Maybe that's where that ghost shot came from.
Deflected in. Let's have a little look and see how that goal went in. It's in the second half, isn't it? It's a low shot skidding on the wet surface. So, well, it is a shot.
Certainly is.
And yeah, it was a decent finish using the rain to its advantage.
Yeah, I see Kesman got his obligatory 8 without touching the ball again.
Yes,
I suppose he did touch the ball, but he got an 8 for no real reason. I suppose he's had some shots and he's had a key pass, so it might be a bit harsh, but it just seems to always happen with him.
Kesman, he seems to be a player for the game without being a really good goal scorer. Let's move into this one. This is two teams that like to attack here. Boothstown Badgers, who, 5th place at the start of the season, lots of goals in their games, full on entertainment value, versus a team a couple of places below, Fortuna, who have only conceded 2. The Badgers, I mean, Tato Mourinho, he has certainly changed this up, and it looks attacking today, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's moved 3 of those players in the DM position forward one, hasn't he? But he's got good players to do that. I think Walker in that MC role is very, very good. Big fan of Scott Huckabee and Stephen on the wing. So he's got a lot of players that I play with regularly on my own saves, and they are capable of challenging on and competing with those big name players. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the Boothstown approach. Duff at right centre back is interesting. I think he can do it, so it's not a big problem. I think if you look at his whole squad, I think the centre back area is probably one of the weaker ones. I think all those midfielders and strikers will get you goals and assists, and the defenders do well, but I don't think they're perhaps good enough to keep out the higher quality players.
It's quite possible, isn't it, that they do offer an attacking threat, but will concede goals. Changing goal today, David Priest comes in to start the match instead of Mallinger today, so that will be something.
Yeah, he did very well off the bench, didn't he, last week? So yeah, that's probably deserved for David Priest there.
And again, Lee Fowler appearing on the bench for the second time today. He's looking like he could potentially get on, although with him being a defensive player, don't expect Tato to want him to bring him onto the pitch too early, I don't think. Fortuna deflection, decent start to the season with the win, draw and defeat, but a narrow defeat it was. They've gone for their usual formation, and do you see much of this around?
Yeah, it's not something I played with the flat back for, but obviously with the rules of this tournament, can understand why he's done it. I would play something similar with wing backs or even narrow. So yeah, the shape going forward is familiar to me, and I think it's been used in the Super League as well. Maybe I don't know, but it's an interesting mix of players. There's some very familiar names to me, and there's some that aren't so familiar. And they gave me a very good game a couple of weeks ago, a very, very tight game. And when I was playing them, when I was testing my team out as well, I was very, very rarely beating them. So I think they're a bit of an underdog, to be honest.
This is the formation that has been my downfall in the Bayern Dortmund save that I'm doing. The Fortuna deflection side, as the Dortmund team is, very, very strong, and they've just won season 5 in the challenge. So it's a team that you're the only person to score goals past them so far. So let's see if Badgers, with all their attacking purpose, can do anything to this. Let's get into the game. Unchanged Fortuna side, by the way, for today. Javan scores straight away. Didn't quite expect that, to be honest. That they would go straight in, and Walker makes it 2-0. And it could have been 3, but is that Huckabee disallowed?
It was, yeah.
They're absolutely dominating. This is the change of setup has really worked for them so far. Saeed takes a yellow card, and certainly all the attacking players coming just from one team. This could have been 4 or 5 so far. It's Fortuna will be hoping to get 1 back before half time, but at the same time, they're quite happy to go in at 2-0 down. Estevez had a chance, and we get into half time. They have improved a little bit here. Well, let's see. First half stats, very dominant from Badgers.
Yeah, the tactical switch has worked very well for Tato, and I think he'd be very, very happy with that. I think they're kind of exploiting that weakness down the sides of the Fortuna team. So yeah, behind those three AMCs, you've got a lot of space down the wide areas. He's got two very good players out there that can take advantage of that. I think that's probably what's happening. And Javan straight out of the blocks with that goal.
Yeah, it's been one for them to score that early on. It shook them up, I think, and to get the two goals inside the first 15 minutes was one of the best starts to the season from any team. It looks like Kenny Lunt's going to need to come off here at half time, doesn't it? Really, for a substitution there. I know he's on a 6. He's not performing too well, and he's also got a bad shinjury. So change wise for these will be the David Collins insertion to the team and Nikiforenko stepping back into the centre midfield position where he's extremely competent. Other than that, at this point, there's nobody else really too far down. Jurgen Kohler is not the kind of defender to stick on a 5 for long, I'd imagine. So
they came back into it a bit there. I think they do have a chance if they get an early goal. Got some dangerous players on the pitch, and David Day is one of my favourite goalkeepers on the game. So yeah, it's good to see him playing well.
Yeah, it's been a good start to the season from him. Despite now conceding 4 goals, he's still averaging an 8. Let's see how things go on for these in the second half. It's both teams have had a chance already this half, and then we've gone very quiet. Substitution wise, for the Badgers, it's always about attack if losing, and they're not losing, so you just consider sticking as it is.
Yeah, I think Steve Finnan looks like he's struggling, so I think that'd be one to change. And David Collins is potentially got an injury as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's got those instructions in.
Tato doesn't call potential injuries as substitutions, which is the only thing that
fair enough
comes on here. I'm just checking for sure, but yeah, he's never called potential injuries as substitution. It's always been about attack if we're losing. So that will be to remain as it is. Just following the rules as much as possible here. Substitution wise for Fortuna, well, Jurgen Kohler's still not performing. But
I'm not too familiar with the replacements. So if you are going to take him off, I'm not sure which one's the best one to bring on.
Yeah, I think that this is a lot more about the attacking here. That if Estevez isn't performing, then it's to bring Javan on. Is one of the requests here. Definitely, the Javan replacement was requested. Yeah, I think that needs to happen. And I'm just checking anything else that's been mentioned here. No, the 2 substitutions here is what to do. Yeah, just followed as much as possible there. Okay, back on with the game. And it's been Badgers straight into the attack. Fortuna with 1 chance. They're coming forward again. A yellow card for Scally to interrupt the attack. 20 minutes left. Still poised at 2-0. Tato will be happy to get through those 10 minutes without anything happening. They've had a chance to score a 3rd goal. We've now got Steve Finnan has come off injured. And with a few minutes to go, is it a Ryan Williams position? Is there anybody else who would come on?
For me, it'd be Williams on and switching with Huckabee. Not that there's a massive difference because I think they're both right-footed, but I just prefer Williams on the right. I don't know if Tato would agree with me.
Right only for Huckabee.
Yeah, so Williams onto the left then is a straight swap, I'd imagine.
And Finnan is there. So yeah, let's go for that with a few minutes to go. David Collins with a chance again. And 2-0 nearly becomes 3, but it's a David Day good save at the end again. Javan, his early goal made the difference, man of the match.
Yeah, and they've really shut out Fortuna there. They've not given them a sniff. Really strong performance from the Badgers again.
Very strong indeed. They've really taken the game to their opponents and done a quality job with that. Finnan, that injury now, a knee injury, could be, could be serious, but I'd imagine he'll be back in a couple of weeks maybe for that. Yep, Javan, great performance. Somerville's performed pretty well as well, quite similar to Javan. It's just that he's got the goal.
Yeah, big fan of Neil Somerville, and I sign him at every opportunity because he's just a fantastic player. With a game in 3 days, I think potentially for everyone. I think that was the
the next round in 3 days. So there will be some rotation needed for quite a few teams. I imagine they've just, the performance hasn't quite worked out. Kohler improved, and 3 players dropped.
Yeah, you got some big players with some poor performances there. So yeah, be very disappointed with that, I imagine. I don't know if he'll rethink his plan or if he'll stick with it or not. It certainly worked out before tonight. But yeah, I think when you've got your best players playing 5s and 6s, then you've not got much chance.
No, it's one of those days can be put down to, and there is Day with a 9, so his best performance. 2 great performances in a row for him. Unfortunately, they've fallen down at this one. So we're going to the second last game of Iron Curtain versus Ewan Rovers, and Ewan have gone for an unchanged lineup after their last game of the 4-0 victory over Flamingos.
Yeah, it's a nice colour kit, although it might be difficult to read. I like Blinkhorn and Saviolo as a partnership. I like that. I do like to match you or pair your kind of your big players with your kind of less current ability, but really good players that you sign every time. So Blinkhorn, I think, is one of those that's got crazy finishing in terms of that intrinsic value it would have.
It is, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, so if you give him a chance, he's likely to score it. The same as kind of your David Collinses of the world. The midfield 3, I'm not too sure who Critchley is, but obviously Karlstrom on the left and Laurie on the right. I quite like both of those. And Critchley's not much good, is he?
Yeah, he's been performing okay, but he's a player I don't know much about at all. It's been a good pick here from Shawson to have him in the squad. It's obviously the Hyde United +5 theme that he has. It's working out in some way. They've got points on the board.
Yeah, no, I think obviously it's a difficult one to pick out players that play for Hyde. So yeah, he's done okay with the team he's got, and obviously big match last week to dispose of the Flamingo team.
The Flamingo team that targeted Rimmer, who then scored the opening goal of the game.
Yeah, Rimmer did a job on them, didn't he?
Oh, those jokes never get old, do they? Wonder if Neil Tolson will appear at any point during the season. The ex-York City player, of course, he is. Iron Curtain, an enforced change for today is that Berezovsky's in goal, Tamilovic on the bench because of the sending off last time in the big game of last week. Sent off towards the very end of that match. So
yeah, that was a great game. Really enjoyed watching that one last week, and I know Duggan was really happy to beat his boss Jamie. Yeah, and I think Nick Matolin is a big miss, but I think Berezovsky's not a bad replacement, so I think he'd be all right.
He isn't, and to be honest, I mean, Tamilovic for me, I signed Tamilovic a few times to play in goal. I think he's a quality goalkeeper to be sitting as 3rd choice in the squad. So they've got some very strong choices. Mostovoy, Karpin fully fit after coming off last game. Mostovoy, I mean, he might last a half.
Yeah, he's got some decent replacements. He's got Titov and Volodenkov to come on. So yeah, I think it's a very good squad. I think yeah, I think he's got a chance to kind of push on for the top places if he gets it right. So yeah, be interesting to see how they go on tonight.
Yeah, we definitely will be seeing Titov at some point during this game. So that's been pretty much guaranteed, barring injuries in the wrong positions fully on. But yeah, they're a good team. They've gone in for the Brown.
Wow.
This is going to be fun to watch, isn't it, with these colours? I don't know what to say. It's readable. It's readable. There's been early chances for Iron Curtain.
It's readable, but it's hurting my eyes still. Is that fair?
Professionally. 20 minutes in and no goals yet. Nikiforenko's had a good chance to score. Shevchenko looks quite creative at the moment. He seems to be helping his team out. And Valery Karpin with the opening goal, his first for the club. And they are looking like the team that are just going to go on from here and win this game. I can't see UN Rovers coming back into it based on those performances, especially as Sigalko just makes it 2-0 before half time.
Yeah, Karpin was I think he's a fellow Bravery 20 player. He's one that was very close to making the squad, but in the end, I thought Big Don Hutchison needed a place, so that was my options for that. And he's a decent player, so I've kind of gone with the gimmick player rather than the good player in that. But yeah, very good first half performance from CP, and the Iron Curtain's well and truly down in that first half.
Yeah, they've shut up shop, haven't they? Nothing conceded whatsoever in terms of shots, never mind goals. Yeah, we have the only request at the moment at this point of the game is that if Sigalko drops below 80%, so he will stay on. UN Rovers, their plans are for 60 minutes, so we'll get straight on with the game. But it would be, where's the shot going to come from? Saviola's really off it. I think, I'd even predict Patrick Vieira to have their first shot.
I was thinking the same. It's going to be Vieira with one of his rangy runs and a long shot is the only way they've got of getting forward, I think.
Let's see how this goes. Critchley.
Wow.
Yeah, our prediction was perfect there, Neil. Critchley, the Patrick Vieira of the central midfield positions.
Oh yeah, I meant Neil Critchley, yeah.
59, just one before the 60 minutes. We do see the exit of Sigalko and Mostovoy. So
is there any strikers on the bench?
It's interesting that this. Oh, I do think this is a potential error on my behalf here. I did look at the substitutes. I didn't quite see anything here, but yeah.
I would laugh my head off if
this backfires.
If it's cost Duggan, because he's not been having the best of luck recently. On our network save the other day, my network crashed and it cost him his first game of the season. It cost him a North London derby win, and then we reloaded it and he lost. So we was laughing at him the other day. So if it happened, something like that happened to him again, I think it'd definitely make our group chuckle.
This is yeah. I will take the blame if something happens here. My plan would be that Sigalko would be still withdrawn at below 80, especially with the game coming up. And I would personally move Titov central, bring Volodenkov on, and put Nikiforenko up front.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah, right. Nicky's good up there.
This is yeah, the little things that just need considering there. So, yep, live on air.
To be fair, that shouldn't cost him. That should be fine. I wouldn't worry too much. But if he ever breaks through again and passes the ball to Critchley, then we might be laughing in a minute.
well, it can't happen. Is the answer here? It can't happen because the plans are that Critchley will be coming off, as far as I'm aware, in the substitution. I'm just going to check this for sure. It does say subs at 60 minutes, Milligan for Critchley and Hulse for Blinkhorn.
You've got a feel for the lad. I mean, he's got Alexis Smerton in his back pocket, and then you're dragging him off.
Oh, it is a shame for them. It seems to be yeah, wonderful.
Melon.
Cocoa Melon has started. This is a really strange thing about this iPad. This Amazon tablet, which starts up in the middle of the night for absolutely no reason. It is. It's not. I am not being sponsored here.
It's a very familiar sound to me, that one. Less so these days. He's kind of growing out with that a little bit, so I'm happy for that. But yeah,
Cocoa Melon. Oh, this program is brought to you by Cocoa Melon. I'll get a YouTube copyright claim here, won't I now? Oh, wonderful. Let's go into the last part of this match. Yes. So Vasiliuk clearly has come on here and done a great job for Iron Curtain, despite the fact he's not playing. Rob Hulse has equalised.
There's going to be some assassinations ordered by the Kremlin if this goes wrong.
There certainly will be. The inquiries will be in here. It's no penalty given.
No penalty.
And a late chance, and it is a 2-all draw. Oh, it'll be an inquiry here. I'll have to say to him, I'll take a player out of my Stackington side for the next game. Deary me, yeah.
I don't know what to say. I feel for you, Dan, but it is funny. I'm sure he'll be fine in all seriousness. He might kick up a bit of fuss on Twitter because he likes to do that sometimes, but I'm sure he'll be all right.
Oh dear. Yeah. So 5 shots on target, and
yeah, I mean that's a proper champion. Yeah, less said about that, the better, I think. How did the goals come about for Ewan? I'd like to see if Vieira was involved at all.
So Critchley playing with Saviola. And then a late one from Vieira's clearance, and Hulse has got on it and just ran round a few.
Oh.
Well, just kept running, not taking anybody on, apart from the goalkeeper.
Berezivsky was unhappy with his defender's efforts, and rightfully so by the looks of it.
The fact that there isn't a single defender there. Yes, yeah. The less said about the league management, the better for this game.
In your defence, Dan, you've got a very difficult job in terms of getting all those instructions right. So I do feel for you a little bit there. I don't envy you at all.
And Ewan, I mean, let's not take anything away from Ewan Rovers. That was one hell of a comeback.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we need to give them more credit than they've got so far. I think Rimmer's done a fantastic job again. Vieira with an 8. So yeah, I mean they've got a little bit lucky, but they've stuck at it and they've got a point. I'm sure they'll be very, very happy with that.
Yes, definitely, and I think Cocoa Melon, of course, will be happy with their involvement in this match as well.
Yeah, Duggan's demise was brought to you by Cocoa Melon.
The Hulls Vikings. Hulls, it's a very strong side, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of nearly every player in there, to be honest, and I think Elbert is one of the best strikers in the game. That midfield 3 is unplayable on the day. Fullbacks are 2 of the best attacking fullbacks on the game. So yeah, it's a difficult job for us today. And we've got a manager in Jens who knows what he's doing as well. He's a very, very good student of the game, and obviously holding his own in the Super League as well. So yeah, big test for me today, and it's one I think we can edge.
It's going to be a good one, isn't it? I mean, the home advantage maybe will help out. I am just checking that the substitutes are on the bench. They are, that's something that's achieved. Just news on Ronaldinho back in about a week. Of course, their record so far is 3 wins from 3. The only team that can both
perfect,
start.
Yeah.
And for you, team for today, only one change.
Yeah, Davids, I wouldn't usually drop him, but he got a 5 and a yellow card last week, and Tomasi came on and played very well. I think he even got in the team of the week from the bench. So, yeah, so it's one of them where how can I turn around to the rest of the squad and justify my selection if I don't give him a game? So that was the plan. Apart from that, I've not changed anything. No tweaks or anything. I was really happy with how we played last week. I think long term, I will be changing a few things. I think Montero will come back in at some point when he's finally got back over his injury. I'm not a big fan of John Terry in general, so I'm waiting for the chance to drop him. So that might come soon. And
That's
then
the hope.
yeah, and then Luis Enrique's been unlucky not to play so far. I think he was injured at the start, so I've stuck with Bowyer out there, even though he's not a natural kind of winger. And I think Enrique will probably get off the bench at some point. I think he can play. Obviously, his versatility is very, very handy, and he does bring a little bit more craft. So one thing we do lack is a bit of flair and creativity. We've got 11 kind of battering rams almost.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that does show. Actually, I mean, when I've been playing it on myself, by myself, I think it shows. We don't blow teams away very often. Most matches are tight, so I really need to get my tactics kind of spot on for if we're gonna challenge at the top.
And I think you've got to be up there. This is a game where you'd expect, I don't know, from personal prediction, you'll both be top 3 at the end of the season. Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect. And yeah, I think if I don't win today, I think I'll be. I think genuinely, I think I'll be struggling to catch Hulls and Phoenix if I don't win today, or at least get a draw.
Do you think Hulls are missing Salva? The only one that could have fit in.
Yeah, I think. I don't know why he wouldn't have him in the squad. I mean, he's got very good options, so maybe that's why. But he's a good player. He's not done the best so far. I think he got a goal last week, but he didn't start well. He got 6. I got 2 goals last week. He got 6 in the first week, and then a 7 off the bench. So he's not set the world alight, but good performance last week. Let's hope he carries on.
Indeed, Aldi Beer Stadium, but
yeah, I'm glad you got the reference. Yeah, it's yeah, we shop at Aldi most weeks, so that's my typical choice, and I can't say it, so I'm not going to try and say it again. I messed that up earlier.
I did try one in tribute to your team's performance last week. It was very nice, actually. It was
it's a really nice beer. Yeah,
that's two things we sponsored today. So I think we should be getting some monetary repayment.
Yeah, it was kind of your idea of sponsoring the league with a company that made me do it.
Salva has got the goal. We may be talking about the products, but Salva makes it 1-0 and is the stand-up performer in the game so far. Fantastic for him. Hull's not really getting a look in. It's very, very purple, and 2-0 from Bonk. Half an hour in, and this is a little bit of domination. Hull's going to try and get back, but it's still very, very purple. Salva with another chance. 1 over the bar for Hulls. Are they going to get a shot on target? Elbert has put one on target. It's a save from Nick Matulin, I believe. Half time. Well, you must be happy with that.
Yeah, delighted with that. I mean, it's only half time, so they've got some very good players, so it's not over yet. And I think last week you were kind of calling it at this point. You and Alan were saying the game's over, but I was nervous watching the second half, so I certainly won't be sitting easy. But we looked very good there. It looked like it was flowing football for a change, so I'm very, very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought it was even more than 53. It's probably a lot of the possession for Hulls has just come in sort of middle of the pitch areas, and so it's like it's very, very strong so far. Are you leaving it as it is for half time?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of half-time subs unless it's an absolute stinker. So yeah, keep going.
And Hulls at the moment, we've got Hierro and Figo who really need to pick up their game, but substitutes are planned for 60 minutes for them as well. So let's push on. Salva with another chance straight away into the second half. He's on fire at the moment. Elbert again with a chance for Hulls, but Nick Matulin holding out. 60 minutes. Substitutions. There's a free kick, and I think Bonk has got that lined up outside the box.
Yeah, I'll just manage my my condition players, I think, and I will take all 3 off that are on 77%. Actually, no, I'll take 2 off. I'll take Keane
with Davids.
for Davids, and then swap him with Tomasi. And I will take off Barijo, and I will put on Enrique, and then change him with Baka, please, or Bonk.
There we go, Luis Enrique with a role to play for you. Happy with just a 2?
Yeah, I probably, if I was on my own save now, I'd probably take all 3 off, but I'm going to keep 1 just in case.
Just in case Nick Matullin comes down with something in these last few minutes. Hulls, now they've got basically, if at 6 is Ronaldo, and Paredes would come on for the players. So we've got Sergio on a 6, so that's Paredes. And forward wise, both the forwards are on 7s. It's not the problem with the forwards, is it, at the moment? It's further back.
No, I mean, you could potentially drop Raul back. I don't think he's probably not the natural there, so I don't want to sabotage Jens's team, but Figo on a 5 and 73%, you've got to be looking at replacing him, I imagine.
Yeah, I think that actually does need to be done. They are out of the game as it stands as well, aren't they? So, it's probably...
you've got Gerard there to
Gerard's
replace.
been someone who's come on every, well, not every game so far, but most of the games. I do think he does need to come on for Figo. I don't think there's anything else that could be done. I don't think it's a case of dropping Raul back and bringing Ronaldo on.
I think Tomasi might have sent Figo into early retirement there.
He's done a job on him. So we go into the last half hour, nicely poised. I believe it's a free kick to East Coast. We'll see what happens. Commentary slowed down again. Nothing came of the free kick, but it was a free kick on the edge of the box. 20 minutes to go, no change at all. Luis Enrique's come on and got booked. Salva puts one wide, which is a bit unlike him after his accuracy earlier in the game. And into the last 10 minutes, Hulls have pulled one back. It's Raul who's now gone off. And there's the Ronaldo substitute, so he gets what he needs, but at the same time, not what he wants after Raul's pull one back.
No.
He's done his foot in.
Very, very shaky here for me.
This could be a very cagey last few minutes. We know how over the course of the last week that last minute comebacks have been a big thing. That's a late chance for Luis Enrique. He makes it 3-1. And a great performance from Bonk as man of the match.
Yeah, I'm just happy to avoid what they call in the business a Steve Wright and conceding 2 late goals there. So yeah, I'm just delighted that I haven't been tarred with that brush, considering I'm associated with him in my stream. So yeah, that's a great performance. Really, really happy with that. And Hulls will win many, many games. So to get one over on them is quality, and obviously takes their 100% record away. Probably moves me up into 3rd or 2nd, I imagine.
You'll be above Hulls. So that's something you're going to be top 2, I think, at this point. It's going to be interesting looking at that table. Great performance from Bonk, as we said. What's done him, one shot? Has he done lots of runs? He's got three runs, yeah. Some headers won. Salva's dribbled around the opponents a fair few times, performed very well. Davids has come on and made amends.
Yeah, Back's done a bit of everything there, hasn't he? He's been heavily involved in most things by the looks of it. So he's not one I've signed. He's one I've admired from a distance for a while, but it's nice to be his manager, and he's definitely provided me with some good performances.
It was a brave decision. Raul 37%, and Hulls may need to do a bit of rotation for their next match. They look a bit tired, but then again, I think most teams will need to do something in midweek.
Davids is sticking one up at me there as well, coming on and getting a 9, so he's in contention again for the next game.
Very good. I mean, it's Tomasi might well need a rest. Looking at
possibly,
that percentage. So let's go straight into the table, because I mean we don't want to spoil things too much by we could go back to the results, but they've got the table next to them. So let's see, Phoenix early leaders, 11 goals with 1 in reply. East Coast into second. Trafford, Badgers, Hulls, 1 point between the top 5, and you know, Badgers are certainly keeping up with the pace.
Yeah, I mean, it shows what a good result that was for me last week with them winning the other 3 games. I think the table's starting to take a little bit of shape now, isn't it? And you probably imagine Madrid will push up a bit.
You imagine Madrid would do that, yeah? You do.
Imaginary Madrid, yeah. But apart from that, yeah, I think there's a bit of a fight in the mid-table area. But yeah, I think that's similar to how it looked when I ran through the season on my save.
It's been enjoyable to watch this round, definitely. Just going back to those results, you know, the away sides picked out 2 wins in this round. A massive win. Obviously, we expected some sort of goals, but 6 for Phoenix, which shows you know, they're not just a defensive side.
Yeah, the highlight of the night for me though was that Justin Jocelyn goal. I think absolutely delighted with that. Been given like last minute responsibility for picking the Flamingos team with Dan helping. So yeah, happy with that. In terms of the other results, the ones that stand out to me, Trafford coming into form is interesting, and Falaraki winning that battle of the underachievers early on in the night 7th. As well.
Yeah, heading up there into the top half at that point. Team of the week, well, we've got David Day in goal, despite the defeat for Fortuna. The only team who didn't score in this round, Jurgen Kohl. That's last. There is no team of the week. There is no team of the week. It makes perfect sense that there is no team of the week. Look at it, thinking Jurgen Kohler on a 6. Yeah, there we go. So no team of the week. Fixtures for Saturday, 3 days time in here. It will be a midweek round. I think I will confirm it. I think it will be a midweek round in the league this week. Yeah. What's your standout fixture here?
I am looking at the Badgers, and I'm hoping they can go to Bolton and grab something there to keep the league kind of interesting for me. Apart from that, I think CCCP or the Iron Curtain will give Trafford a good game. So that's another one where I'm basically looking at my rivals and seeing if they've got a chance of dropping points. And I think they're both difficult games.
Hulls Flamingos then.
That's not.
You're gonna put a figure on that?
Dear. Who's picking the team? If it's me, it'll be 8-1. If it's Alan, it's probably going to be 10-0.
You got such confidence there. So the average ratings there: Elbear for Hulls and Bonk, the 2 top players in the league. So your Bonk is top notch apparently.
My Bonk is better than everyone else's. Yeah.
We've got Javan for the Wanderers as top scorer with 5. Elbear and Saviola following on. Salva up there. Penalty wise, there's been 5. Assist, top of the assist, Mostovoy and Saviola with 4, and a couple of players there. Bonk, no, he's up there on everything, isn't he? And Justin Walker with 3 yellow cards. Roy Keane 4 from 3 games as well. He didn't play one of them. He's done. Yep, he's very impressive with that. Red cards. So there wasn't a red card today, was there?
No, I don't believe there was.
We had anything. 2 man of the matches now, Javan and Bonk. And I think that's all we need to look for there. So just a reminder, the fixtures for next time. Thank you very much, Dimble. It's been fantastic having you on.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Thanks for inviting me on, and really enjoyed it. Cheers.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you tomorrow for Division 2's round. Okay, good night.